Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and get this meeting started and call it to order. If I can have everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have any changes to the agenda?
I have no changes. I just want to point out that we have two agendas. We have the regular agenda, and we have a special meeting that's going to run concurrent with the regular meeting, and that special meeting just has one closed session item.
We have a motion to approve agenda. Council?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Councilman Vosberg,
Aye.
Mayor Horn.
And I vote aye. Okay, we'll move on to item number 2, awards, presentations, appointments, and proclamations. We have one item tonight, presentation of the fiscal year 2021-2022 audited financial statement by city auditor. Real quick, before he speaks, just so everybody knows, we did move the lectern over next to the dais. Hopefully it's a little bit easier. We can actually see you guys now. So it makes it nice. And those that you couldn't see us, now you can see us. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council, for having me here tonight. My name is Ryan Jolly, and I'm here to present the city's audit for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2022. Just beyond the table of contents is the independent auditor's report. This is where we once again issued an unqualified opinion on the financial statements of the city, basically stating that we found the city's financial records to be in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. Once again, it's a clean audit opinion, and so that's to be commended by the city. Getting into the body of the financial statements, I just wanted to highlight a few quick areas. On page 8, this is where the general fund is, pages 6 and 8 is where the general fund is presented. Overall, the general fund has an ending year fund balance of just over $16 million. Part of that is restricted for emergency, 4.4 million is restricted for emergency medical transportation, but the rest is pretty much unassigned fund balance, so just under 12 million of unassigned fund balance for the general fund. So the general fund is healthy at this time. The other funds of the city are operating as intended. The enterprise funds on pages 11 is where your revenue and expense changes, or statement of revenue and expenses are. And you can see there that the change in net position is all positive increase, other than the natural gas fund, which had a decrease of $525,000. All of them still have a positive net position, so those funds are operating as intended as well. Getting into once we get beyond the body of the financial statements, the notes to the financial statements give you a more detailed explanation of the major asset and liability accounts of the city. Nothing out of the ordinary this year. The footnotes are all very similar to prior years. There was one new GASB implementation this year, which had to do with leases, and that's on page 40. This is where we identify now when you lease out assets or lease assets from other agencies, you record an asset and a respective liability. So it doesn't really have any effect on what you'd call the balance sheet, but that asset or liability then gets amortized over the life of the lease. And so that was implemented this year. The city's pension liability is also, we've talked about that for the last couple of years. That's been on the books. Currently, the city has a net pension asset of just under $800,000. This is a study done each year by CalPERS, where they look at discount rates and life expectancy and come up with what they project the city's asset or liability to be regarding their pension plans. So currently, you're at as of June 30, 2022, an asset of $790,000. Following the footnotes of the financial statements, you get into some budget to actual comparisons to see how the city performed in comparison to the budget. Then after that, we get into the non-major funds of the city. And as I mentioned earlier, all of those funds are operating as intended. Lastly, there's another audit opinion towards the back of the financials, starting on page 59. This has to do with the internal controls of the city. This is where we look at the significant transaction classes, specifically cash disbursements, cash receipts, and payroll, looking for proper segregation of duties and making sure there's proper internal controls. And so there were no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses identified. And then this year, the city had a single audit. This is because the city received some federal funding and spent more than $750,000 in federal funds, specifically due to the American Rescue Plan funds that were received due to COVID funding. And so that created a single audit this year, and we did a more specific audit of those funds, and there were no findings identified either related to that, the expenditure of those funds. Lastly, we issue a management report to the city council, letting you know how we, if we had any disagreements with management or any difficulties in completing the audit. Once again, this is a clean letter to the city council letting you know that we didn't have any issues, didn't have to consult with any outside consultants, and didn't identify any corrected or uncorrected misstatements. So once again, a clean audit opinion. I know we're a little bit late getting the June 30, 2022 presented just now. But I think we're talking with we're back on track. We're just waiting for your other CPA consultant to do some final touches on June 30, 2023, and then we'll be able to get started on that audit here soon. So thank you once again for the opportunity to work with the city. Thank you to Mai and Marissa and the staff for helping us get this completed, and I'm now available for any specific questions you have.
Council have any questions at this time? And I don't have any questions as well. You have any questions for us?
No,
All right.
that's all I had.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay, next item is citizens' comments. This section of the agenda allows members of the public to address the city council on any item within the jurisdiction of the council. Members of the public, when recognized by the mayor, should come forward to the lectern, identify themselves, and use the microphone. Comments are normally limited to 3 minutes in accordance with state open meeting laws. No actions will be taken by the city council this evening, and all items will be referred to staff for follow-up and report. Citizens' comments submitted in writing to the city clerk by 5 p.m. on the day of the city council meeting shall be distributed to the city council and included in the record. However, they will not be read. Do we have any citizens' comments? Scott?
Scott Netherton, Kalinga Chamber of Commerce. As most of you know, we had our Kalinga Fest on the 21st. We had a pretty good turnout. It went smoothly. I saw most of you there. I want to say thank you for coming out and joining us. In the next 6 weeks, we have 3 events that we're responsible for. On the 25th of November, we have our holiday boutique at the Hub from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. On December 2nd is the Christmas parade at 6 p.m. And then on the 16th is our Friends and Fine Wine Winter Walkabout. So I don't want to waste my 3 minutes. I want to let you all know everything coming up, and I'll talk about those later. Real quick, this week alone, I've had 3 different people come in. They are desperate for a retail space in this town that can be afforded. I know it's been a year, maybe 2 years ago, it was mentioned we don't want to look at rent control, I get that, but something was mentioned about possibly doing something for these out-of-town investors that have their rents jacked up so high. Once My Threads leaves the plaza, that entire half of that block, the only thing there will be Image and the smoke shop. You'll have 5 empty offices in our plaza. And it's because they're not even interested in renting it. They'd rather it sit empty. These people called out there where Rite Aid in that shopping center, they're not even getting callbacks, and they are calling 3, 4, 5 times. And the rent out there is, in my opinion, unreasonable as well. I don't know what you can do. At one time, I know you guys had discussed some sort of penalty if it was sitting vacant for too long. I don't know what the answer is, but I would like for you guys to try and come up with some sort of solution to help, because we have a lot of businesses, small businesses, looking for storefronts, and there's just nothing in town. So I just wanted to bring that to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? Okay, council? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Public hearings, we have none tonight. Next item is our consent calendar. We have 24 items on this evening. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about?
Don't egg them on.
All right, seeing that there's none, we have a motion to approve the consent calendar as read. I'll make a motion to approve the consent calendar as read. Just need a second.
I'll second that.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Horn,
Aye.
Councilman Schindler,
Aye.
Councilman Hedgecock. Aye. Councilman Vosberg,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Ramirez.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, number 6. We have none. 7 is announcements, city manager's announcements.
I only have one. So we closed our registration for the city's Christmas gift program, and we have 258 kids registered this year. And so each child who's registered in the city's Christmas gift program gets a new pair of shoes, a pack of socks, a new jacket, a new blanket, and a toy. And so we are accepting monetary donations. You can make them at the front window at City Hall. They'll give you a receipt. Or if you would like to donate any toys or new blankets or jackets, we can use them. We also desperately need wrapping paper. So if anybody has Christmas wrapping paper or gift bags they'd like to donate, you can do that at the window at City Hall as well.
Thank you. Any council members' announcements or reports?
Sorry, Mercedes gave me one more I was supposed to announce. We do have the cleanup day on Saturday. So we have flyers here at City Hall if anyone needs the information, but it is November 4th from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the Coalinga cleanup event, and it's at 1255 West Elm.
And you must bring your city bill with you. The only announcement I have is this last week, myself, Councilman Ramirez, the city manager, our assistant city manager, went to a conference down in San Diego to meet with the ICSC retail companies, and it actually went really, really well. We should start hearing some more back from some of the companies, but we're already starting to hear back from them. We've got a couple that were interested that are now ready to move forward. So we've got some good things coming in the next year.
I just got one. Please come out tomorrow. Coalinga football is playing their first divisional playoffs against Sierra Pacific. It's a Division III school, so, hopefully go Horned Toads.
Okay, do we have any future agenda items at this time? Okay, seeing none, we have one item for closed session for tonight. Other than that, we don't have a closed session report, so we're going to adjourn this meeting until December 7th.